Has English language learning reached its peak, or is it still an area with growth potential? All right, so my short answer to this question is there's nowhere near the peak yet, okay? There's so much more potential in this market. And I want to look at this market from two different dimensions, I would say. One is the volume, which is the number of learners, right? Currently, there are like 1.5 billion English learners, okay, worldwide. 1.5 billion English learners. That's a big number, okay. 1.5 billion. That is 5 times of the population in the U.S. And it's still growing very fast due to the internet coverage. A lot of people, a lot of regions in the world, they didn't have internet coverage. Right now, they're getting internet, and also the process of globalization, right? So a lot of my clients, a lot of teachers from the challenge are targeting students globally, and a lot of students want to improve their English because they have opportunities to work in an English speaking country or global companies. And right now in this business world, it doesn't matter where your company is. If the company is big enough, oftentimes the company language is English, right? Just like the company I worked for previously, it's a German company, but the company language is English. It's like it doesn't matter who you speak to. If it's about work, you have to do it in English. Even internally, right? So this globalization gonna drive the markets as well. And this is one dimension. If you look at the volume, like how many people are going to learn or are currently learning English, the other dimension is the efficiency level. So once a student starts learning English, right? They start from A1 to A2, B1, B2, C1, C2, right? There are different efficiency levels. They need to climb the levels, and from being able to speak clearly, fluently, to being able to speak more efficiently, right? So there are different levels they need to climb, and from beginners to advanced learners. Not all the English learners gonna go all the way to advanced learners, but there's like a depth, right? So it's not a one dimension. It's a two by no, it's a 2x2, right? You're gonna see this like area. So based on these two dimensions, you can see there's more potential for this market, and they're new learners. And then once they start learning English, there are different stages they can go to, right? So the market has a big potential and is nowhere near the peak. So does it mean it's promising, it's good for independent ESL teachers? Not necessary. Okay, it's not necessary. Not necessarily good for independent teachers, because there are companies. Whenever there's a potential, there's a market. All these companies, schools, they're gonna come and cover, try to penetrate the market, and companies will cover most of the market. Unfortunately, most of the market share, and especially in markets that can be highly standardized. Okay, especially the market that can be highly standardized, such as beginner market. For the beginner markets, what you teach, it can be standardized. All these grammar, vocabulary, how can you speak English can be standardized. And children market, for teaching kids, it can be highly standardized. And exam preparation market, that's another market, can be highly standardized. If you teach TOEFL, if you teach IELTS, the exam itself is fixed, and the way you teach it cannot vary too much. It's highly standardized. For these markets, no company can come and use their corporate machine to quickly standardize the process, the teaching, the marketing, and then they can reduce the cost. Right? They hire a bunch of teachers to work for them. They can have very concentrated marketing effort, right? So company can easily scale in these type of markets and use their resources to reduce the costs. And independent teachers gonna be very hard. surviving, like really difficult in these markets because you have to compete with them, right? It's like you fighting with the corporates, the companies, right? So independent teachers gonna it's gonna be hard for them to survive in this type of market. But does it mean there's no future for independent ESL teachers? No, because independent ESL teachers can always find the market that companies don't really care because the market size is not big enough for them, but it's big enough for ESL teachers, right? And you wanted to find these markets, right? And if you guys read my book, right, ebook, you know this analogy I use to describe the market. So for the general English market, is highly standardized market. It's like an ocean, right? What companies can do is they can just build big shapes, right? Then they can fish in the ocean, but it's not doable. It's not easy for independent teachers to do. And instead, with limited resources, independent teachers, what they should do, right? They should avoid this ocean. The ocean, they should go find their own pond, like their pond, right? And fish there. The pond is too small for companies even get their attention. But it's good. It's good. It's big enough for your independent teachers, and then you just find your own pond and fish there. And these ponds are niches, right? And it just that's what I've been telling you guys to do niche teaching. You find your niche, then you are able to differentiate yourself. You are able to customize your services, and then avoid the competition with these companies, right? So um, again, this market has a big potential. It's still growing, but unfortunately, the highly standardized market is gonna be covered, gonna be penetrated by companies, by corporates. For teachers, for independent teachers to survive, not only survive but thrive, right? To get better and better, you need to find a niche. You need to become a niche teacher. If you don't want to work for companies, and the company is gonna grow, they're gonna hire a lot of teachers. But if you don't want to work for companies earning pennies, you want to have your own business, have a 6-7 figure teaching business, you need to find a niche and become a niche teacher. Find your own pond, right? Enjoy your business.